Well, and hello again. How are you all doing? Welcome to another episode of Just Moments with Fred and Angela Jackson. We are so excited to see you all again in the virtual space. This is our first show with guests. Last month we did just a show with us, and it turned out to be a very entertaining,
Man, come on.
great conversation, great dialogue, great interaction from our viewing audience, which kept us going. Questions kept coming in, comments kept coming in. So we really enjoyed last month's show, but today is February 1st, and that makes me happy because there's so many things going on in February. First of all, it's Black History Month. Hey, good people, happy Black History Month. Keep hope alive. Also, it's my birthday month.
Hold up,
And
hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up.
hold up.
This is I can do that. Let me throw this out there for you.
What? Oh,
Look at
yes.
that. Look at that.
Yes.
Look at that right there. Look at that right
Yes. It's your girl birthday coming up real quick. And yeah, so I'll be
Yeah, so you see
celebrating
that?
all month. Thank you
Yeah,
so
you see
much.
that? You see that the cash app?
Oh, you put my cash
The
app
cash
on
app
there?
there. So
Well,
you know, if the fans want to bless
if you
you,
want to bless me,
yeah, the fans want to bless you. You know,
I receive all blessings
you receive
all
all
month
blessings all
long.
month
Okay.
long. All month it long.
All
All
month.
month it long. Okay.
All month.
All right. Praise him. Praise him.
So yeah, like I said, Black History Month, my birthday month. There's so many birthdays this month. We would probably spend the first 20 minutes shouting out birthdays
Too
for
many, y'all. Too
the
many of you
great month
February
of
people.
February.
Too many of you February people.
And we found out last night that tomorrow is not only just Groundhog's Day, but tomorrow is also Janet Jackson Day.
Tomorrow's Janet Jackson Day.
Yes.
Janet
It ain't
Day.
baby, it's Janet if you're nasty.
Janet Jackson Day. Janet Jackson.
So just some fun facts. And then also, I wanted to share a bit about a person that I was looking up today. I like to look up like historical great Black achievers for Black History Month. And when we lived in Stockton, there was a school not too far from us called Ronald McNair.
Ronald McNair.
And when they first started building it, I'm like, Ronald McNair, who's he? Didn't know who he was. So I had to look him up. And Ronald McNair was the second Black astronaut that flew for NASA. Unfortunately, um, his life ended in the Space Shuttle Challenger in 1986. But
Yeah.
but he was an astronaut. That goes to show, and he was just the second one, and there's been some after him. But it's just exciting to see us going where no man has gone before, because that was his first flight. But he made strides in that, and there have been many other astronauts for NASA um, that have come behind him, and we can't forget about Hidden Figures, the women
The women
behind
yeah.
the shuttle launches.
Yeah.
So, I thought that was very interesting. So that's why I brought that up today.
So my Black History school assignment is, since I'm a techie, this is a guy that after I learned about him, I started following him for quite a while. But his name is Mark Dean, and he is a computer scientist and an engineer that helped develop a number of landmark technologies for IBM, including, as you see there, the color PC monitor and the first gigahertz chip. He holds three company original nine patent. He holds three of the company's original nine patents. He has also invented the industrial standard architect system bus. And so, just in plain English for the rest of y'all, when you plug in your printer or you plug your mouse in, they say it's just plug and play. he had something to do with that. So that's my history moment. That's my Black history moment in my field. So there you go. There you go.
There you go. Well,
what Olivia say? A name that you should know.
but did you see how big that PC was though?
Yeah,
that was huge.
Yeah. Did you just saw the size of PCs, the size of what we call floppy disks.
Yeah.
And before that, the actual hard disk. We had a picture when I was working in District 10 of what the computer room looked like when you actually had mainframes and you had the reels and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we come a long way
to
this being a computer.
Exactly.
Long way. You can store, what can I store? What was it, 128 gigabytes on that? You couldn't even get 128 gigabytes on that first.
As big as it was, you still couldn't store as much information that you can store on your small smart device.
Yeah. So we had some folks that were in there that were leading the way. So it's a good thing.
And we are now leading the way for the next generation behind us.
Absolutely. All right.
We have some guests that we want to bring on tonight. I have a couple of friends that we want to bring on, and we're going to just share some information, have some fun, and just talk shop a little bit. So
like we normally do.
Yeah. So you're going to have a sneak peek into our every time we meet type thing.
Yep, pretty much.
So we're going to go ahead and introduce to you our friends, Dwayne and Capricia White. I didn't have my sound effects.
Hi.
And also Vaughn and Dene McGee. Woohoo!
Hey. McGee family. All right.
Hey. We can't forget Jackson. Where's Jackson?
He's in his crate.
Oh.
Could have tore up this whole room.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
He'd have been on Vaughn's lap the whole time.
Yes.
For real.
Yeah. He has to be on camera when we're on camera.
Right, taking over the whole camera.
Exactly.
I'm trying to see. I'm trying to be up in here. Trying to be the star up in here tonight. So how's everybody doing today?
Doing good.
Good. I'm gonna ask y'all because today was a tough day for me. So I had to, before we got started, as you guys heard when you came on, I had to comfort myself.
Okay. They was behind the throne. They was all
yeah. You know, sometimes you got to sing to yourself because
that's it.
Sometimes these folks they can send you there. So we had a little bit of a challenging day, but I told one of my top bosses with the issue that was going on, I was making sure, hey, if this go past 4, y'all might have to write a brother up. I gotta go.
I'm walking off.
I'm leaving. I want to be here. I gotta be here tonight. So I was like, nope, I'm not missing my own thing. I want to be here tonight to be with y'all and have fun and fellowship.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you for accepting.
Yes.
Appreciate you guys.
Hey, it's always a good time when all three of us couples get together.
Oh yeah,
the bishop and the first lady. He the best cook I ever had in my life. Well, thank you very much. You can come to my house and eat anytime.
Right.
Bring my tithe and my offering to the
Hey, Fred, let me see if he was paying attention. Vaughn, now, whenever you want a big piece of cake versus a small piece of cake, what do you call the big piece?
A hunk.
A hunk.
Oh.
Give me a hunk, baby. Give me a hunk.
Man. Shit.
And don't be shy.
Don't be shy,
Right?
baby.
Yeah, that food is amazing. My God.
Yes, because I was still trying to figure out, okay, how can I make my own? And I think you gave me the recipe, but I'm like, I don't want to do it. I want Capricia to do it for me. Those wraps, those lettuce wraps.
Oh my Lord. Oh, yeah. I ain't even gonna try. I'm just come over again.
Exactly.
Hey, why struggle with it, bro?
Why struggle?
Look, I stole that recipe from the Cheesecake Factory and, tasted it and got it down.
I recently, we went to the Cheesecake Factory not too long ago, and I had some. They were good, but I'm like, Capricia's tasted better.
Yeah, thank you. So sweet. Look, you can come eat anytime too.
We'll be there real soon.
Real soon.
You're knocking on the door at dinner time.
Real soon, actually. Let me real quick. I forgot, y'all. Let me say hello to all the folks that's out there that's tuning in. We appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Hope y'all enjoy the conversation tonight.
Yeah.
Please interject at any time because we're gonna go in a little bit and see what these couples is up to, see what they doing, see what they've been doing. Some of them we kind of know what they doing, but want y'all to hear what they doing. So
right. And please follow, share, let people know that we're on, and share the video.
Let me do this real quick. Because I know we just doing fun tonight, but especially because of you McGees, y'all like the Jamaicans. Y'all ain't got one job. Y'all got like 40 jobs.
Yes.
I just won't, and I'm gonna try to work this out. Probably through the year, I'll probably have y'all come back on and really focus on your businesses. But just real quick. Tell the folks some of your businesses, so if they're interested, they can connect with y'all.
The ones you have together and the ones you have separately.
Right.
Okay. Go
ahead. So I have Diversify Education Group. We're a nonprofit. We specialize in all things education, primarily professional development and technical assistance, and assisting those who are looking for business education that don't necessarily want to go to a formal college or university, but still want to have that quality level of education. So that's what we do on Diversify. And then I have a business consulting firm that I started first. I was going to let that go in 2020, and God said, keep it. And then good thing I did, because he transitioned that over into be able to help so many people. So through that, offer technical assistance for small business owners, help them to get funding for their businesses by whatever that looks like. It could look like, business plan writing, proposal writing, applying for contracts, all that kind of thing, to making promotional products for them, and which could go anywhere from gift wrapping paper to custom boxes to whatever. So that's what I do separately. And then
I'm a full-time realtor. Decided last week to go all in. I was a realtor part-time and a part-time as well, but trusting God, decided to get out of the boat, step out and walk on water and go full-time into real estate. My goal is to do real estate investment and buy fix and flips, fix and stays, helping people buy their dream home or sell the home, stuff like that. I also have an online ministry called The Resistance. We have Psalms and Coffee, which the Jacksons have been a part of. I'm going to get Pastor Dwayne and Capricia White to get on up Psalms and Coffee with me.
Yes.
And then together we have a radio show that comes on every week.
Yes. That's what I needed. I should have had a flyer or something. That's what I needed. That's bomb. Yeah. That's bomb right there.
Yeah. Our radio show is at 12 called The Unapologetic Hour. We cover everything. Politics, real estate, finances, business ideas, and we all bring it back to the cross and Jesus. So we're excited about that.
Yeah. And
save.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. That's why we love them. They keep us grounded.
Kind of. Our show's pretty controversial, Sometimes we go there, but it's good. I mean, it's kingdom talk. So So
And
it's
we mentioned that it was on Apple. Like if they couldn't do the live, it's on.
Yes. If
on
you
Apple
can't listen
Podcasts.
live on Mondays at 12 o'clock, if you can't listen live, you can catch our podcast on the Apple Play Store or the Google Play Store. You can subscribe to the Unapologetic Hour podcast, and it still comes on Mondays, but the podcast pops up at 1 o'clock instead of 12 o'clock. So after the live show ends, you can access it on the podcast.
Awesome.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for giving us some time to share.
Yeah.
Oh man, shoot! I got to do that. That's our platform, so I have to do that, and I know because I know y'all. Quite a few. So we didn't even talk about ours tonight. So hey, so Whites, I know. I don't know if you're still doing the other thing though. Matter of fact, I mentioned it to the McGees about
Plantscape.
the plant. Yeah,
Paradise Plantscape. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I'll let you dialogue that, and then we're gonna get into
Okay. Paradise Plantscape is something that kind of fell in my lap. I didn't know anything about interior landscaping, but I'd taken a position in Oakland and wound up learning all about the plants and so forth. And then when I found out how much my employer, the amount of counts that she had and what she was charging, I said, I can do this. So then I had a couple of clients that actually asked me, could I do it? And I said, yeah. COVID kind of took it down, but I still have a couple of accounts, and just went in service one in San Francisco. Was it last week? It was last week. It was last Saturday. So yeah. So what interior plantscape is if you go to the malls or the doctor's office or the dentist office or hospital, those plants that you see in there, they don't own them. They have someone like me to either lease them to them or they buy them themselves, and I take care of them. So that's what I do. And also, of course, a pastor, Mount Carmel Community Church of Tracy, and a couple of months ago started working with troubled youth in the city of Lathrop. So those are some things that I do.
Yes, sir.
Amazing.
And we know
Capricia has 15 jobs too.
Yeah. she do all the other jobs at the church. She got a regular job, and then she's cook extraordinaire.
Right.
But I do have a daytime job. The one with the benefits.
Yes. Yeah. I found your job interesting when I first found out what it was. I was like, well, she get to ride around in a van, got her own office in the van. That's what's up. I'm with that.
Well, they took my office now. I don't have that van anymore.
That's right. That is right. They came and got the office. Yeah. And I will say that's going to be, I think that's one of her first questions since we still in this pandemic thing. But I thought about that looking at y'all, and I'm like, look at all this Black entrepreneur minds here, and it's one of the things I love.
Excellent.
I love being around the folks that I'm around because y'all keep folks on their toes. Y'all.
Well, let her finish saying what she does, though.
Oh yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. My bad. Did I do that?
Yes, you did.
I did that. I'm sorry, sis. I'm probably thinking about food. Your food.
You could have ate when I told you to eat.
I should have, but it wouldn't have been that.
We'll have to have some garlic roasted crab soon.
Oh.
It wouldn't have been that.
It's some garlic noodles.
Look at this, Bob. All right,
Vaughn about to get the Holy Ghost. Look
They're like, well, I'll just have some chicken.
Exactly.
We'll have you some chicken. But I thought I heard Vaughn almost speaking tongues.
I was about to. This Baptist kid was about to get filled with the Holy Ghost.
Oh, I thought I heard it, but ELLOC.
Is that it? That's it.
Yeah, that's it right there.
That's it.
Oh man. Well,
No, actually, I'm a claims adjuster. I'm a claims specialist. I work with total loss vehicles. When you wreck your car and it's no longer any good, I basically buy it from you, send it to the salvage yard. That's my daytime job.
in the car.
And then I am the pastor's secretary,
Mhm.
the pastor's wife, the
Mhm.
girlfriend,
Oh yes.
praise and worship leader,
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh,
church decorator,
Yes.
bulletin maker,
Yes. Say girlfriend.
girlfriend.
Oh yes. Yes.
His side piece.
Oh, I like that part.
it's like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
My
So I'm
God.
all in. I have about 18 jobs.
Yeah. See y'all.
And you posted something that
Yep, you started
was
bringing
something
them
up.
You gotta let them know about that.
Oh yeah, just recently. Matter of fact, I want a cup. Yeah, I want a cup.
This is that's my personal one.
That's nice.
That's nice.
Yep.
That's my personal one, babe.
See, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm
You made a
saying.
mistake and posted that. Everybody like,
Right. for real.
yellow.
I want mine with a Niner emblem on it.
Oh, what? They just lost. They just lost.
Hey,
Oh,
we gonna go there. I got a couple of meetings for you now. Don't do that to me.
Vaughn,
Well, I say they
You
love
gonna
it.
He said, but they lost.
They
you
lost.
gonna make it that kind of show tonight?
That's gonna be a discount cut.
You and I might have some words to say.
Yeah, there's quite a few Niner fans out there, so I'll be careful with that.
Look, just stop halfway, huh?
Right.
Just do it a little bit.
Just do a little bit.
Yeah.
But this
And
was
I'm not-
actually just a hobby. This turned out
Sure
to
it
just
did.
be a hobby. Because
Bring
I
them
liked
out. They see they start.
But if people want them, I'll make them.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm gonna put my order in.
For a small fee plus shipping and handling.
Amen.
Amen.
Mhm.
Amen.
That's how you do it.
That's what it's about.
Mhm.
And us being a support, not
Right.
can I get a hookup?
Right.
Oh Lord.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. You heard about the hookup ministry, huh?
Yeah.
Hookup
The
ministry.
hookup ministry.
Yeah.
But listen, I have a story for you, and then we'll go into some dialogue on
You
it.
got a story?
Yeah. So I saw this thing on TikTok where this small business owner got one of her largest orders ever, and it was customized. She makes customized jewelry, and so she was so excited that she got the order. She immediately sent the person an email and thanking them and telling them, I'm going to include a couple of free items in there for you. And the customer paid her for the order. And she got her, because it's a family-owned business, she had her mom and grandma helping get that order together. They shipped it out that day. Why did the girl or whoever go and say she never received the order, had the charges reversed, and got the stuff for free?
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yes. So that's hook up to the 100th degree right there. I mean, that's scamming right there.
Yeah.
That's super scam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hookup. Was it hookup ministry? Is that what you said?
Oh yeah.
Scamming
That's
ministry.
it.
Above and beyond a
That's
hookup.
Yeah. That's just low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what that is. Mhm.
So don't do small businesses like that. I said all that to say that. Don't do small businesses like that. We work hard for what we do, whether it's a service or a product. We work hard. We put our time, talent, and energy in what we do. So if someone does an order, please don't turn around and try to get it for free after all of that.
Right.
Yep.
You know, I'm a strong believer that the economy will pick up when small businesses are able to flourish and not these big companies monopolizing everything. And so it's important that we invest in small businesses because they employ people from the community.
Right.
The money they get, they put it back in the cities that they live in.
Yep.
And so I'm an advocate of really shopping in small businesses because it will ultimately help our economy get back to where it needs to be.
Yeah, Bill.
Right.
It will. Yes.
Right. Which is why, like I said, I know y'all have multiple, and I know that the Whites do a lot too. And so just wanted to make sure that you all shared.
Right.
We'll do more in the future, of course, with that.
Yeah. And it's totally all okay to collaborate with other businesses. Work together. I mean, when you work together, they say teamwork makes the dream work, but you work together, one person helps the other. So scratch my back, I scratch yours. And, just like this platform, I believe can help diversify. It can help plantscapes. It can help, Sterling Estates.
Sterling Estates.
It can help Psalms and Coffee. And then vice versa. We're helping one to another. So.
Praise God. Praise God.
Yeah. All right, let's get into it fun. We did all the business stuff. We want to mess with y'all. We want to mess with y'all tonight. So I'm gonna let you
Let me start.
go.
Okay, so this is to both couples, but I'll start with the Whites. What's something that you used to believe about relationships that you no longer believe?
That's a good question.
Ladies first. I'm a gentleman.
Okay, that was low. I used to believe that relationships were 50-50. That is not true.
Right.
Sometimes you got to pull your 80 because he can only pull 20. And sometimes he has to pull 95 because all you can give is 5. So, no, it's never 50-50. You might make an hour where it's 50-50.
Right. Yeah.
Look, yeah.
Capricia.
Look, he even agreed with me. He's like,
yeah. And that's true. That is true. So I agree with that 100%.
Oh, look at you. Oh, we 50-50 right now.
No.
No, right now. Just that minute.
Good one. That was a good one. I used to think, you done?
Yeah, I'm finished.
Okay. What did I used to think about relationships that I don't think anymore? I didn't think that someone could fall in love at the drop of a hat. I didn't believe that. And even though it wasn't, I'd say at the drop of a hat, I knew for sure after about, probably about I think after our second date. After our second date, that was.
You had him at first date.
I didn't think it happened like that, but it did with her. So I just didn't believe in that. Well, as soon as you meet them, that's the one. But time proved me wrong, and so it happened pretty quick with Sister White.
He said with Sister White. No, that was Capricia.
She was Capricia then, but I was still Reverend Big Daddy.
That's right.
So you remember, if you remember last year, and I actually ran it today. Dee and Jasmine's their little
how they met.
Who found who first, and who was chasing who?
Who found who? It was a
blind date.
Yeah, my pastor.
Oh, wow.
My pastor told me about her, and my mother-in-law, who wasn't my mother-in-law then, told her about me also. So she thought that it was two different guys.
I thought I was gonna meet two.
She thought she was gonna meet two. One was referring to me as Dwayne, and the other one was referring to me as Reverend White. So she thought that she was gonna meet two. But me, I'm quick on it. I say, well, I'm twice the man as the average man. So you got two for the price of one. What you got to say about that? But anyway, my pastor at the time, he was referring to me as Dwayne, and my mother-in-law, who was my mother-in-law, was referring to me as Reverend White. So both of them were talking about hooking her up, hooking us up and so forth. And when we met, it was amazing. It was amazing.
So amazing that he proposed on day 60, and we walked down the aisle on day 120.
Can we count that?
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I mean
for us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we knew each other for a while, but
Like that.
But from official dating.
We didn't officially start dating till like June.
No, March.
No.
March and June. That's a
Hey, get
little.
them dates right, Doc. You better get them dates right.
Well,
Oh, I have dates right better than her. After how many years she might start sweating.
But no, we started talking in March, but there was an entanglement that you were still in until.
Whoa! How Will Smith and Taylor Pinkett in this piece?
He didn't break
I'm
up
like this.
I had an
So
entanglement.
after your entanglement was over,
Well.
then it was official
So from June to
to September. And then from September to December.
oh wow.
Oh yeah. Almost years. Yeah, y'all had 6 months. We were what, 4 months?
4 months.
From very first phone call to walking down the aisle was 4 months.
Well, from that for us, if it was that.
That's
one,
right,
then
Denise.
then it's
Not
9
the
months.
entanglement.
It was an entanglement.
Lord Jesus.
You knew she wasn't the one.
Lord. Oh my gosh. So get off of me. So I don't think I've ever been on a blind date. I don't think I ever had anybody hook me up. So what's that feel like? I mean, I'm just asking, when you go, I mean, when you go on you really don't know somebody. I don't know, is it different than if you saw somebody at a grocery store or the mall or something like that, and you just like sparked up a conversation, but to actually, okay, I know I'm going on a date, you know?
It was kind of not really spontaneous, but I was in seminary at the time, and we talked, and we agreed that I wanted to see her. So originally I was going to drive down to Bakersfield, and she was like, well, we can meet halfway.
That's not how it
Right.
So we met in
No.
Fresno.
That's how it went, but I wasn't going to let him come to my house because if I didn't like him,
Mhm.
You didn't want him to know where you live.
he knew where I lived.
Right.
And
He
he
could
could
be a
be psycho or
stalker.
anything. Mhm.
Huh?
I said he could have been a psycho or anything.
Right. Reverend White,
Reverend
Dwayne,
Big
whoever.
Daddy Psycho.
Yeah, man.
Reverend White, we
Big
don't
Daddy
know.
the Psycho, huh? Yeah. Hey, Fred. But then she talking all that smizzag.
All
But
that.
then when we went on the date. Bless her heart. How long did it last? We was there at Denny's for what, about 6 hours? And
We met in Fresno, y'all. Not many
Yeah.
places to meet in Fresno.
met in Fresno.
And we
And
ended up
ever since then, she been hooked. She loves herself some Big Daddy. Ain't that right?
Hercules.
She love her some Big Daddy. I love me some Big Daddy. Now that's what she was saying all the way back to Bakersfield. I love me some Big Daddy.
Oh Lord.
No, actually, the very first time that I talked to him, I said, I don't like him. I said, this man talked way too much on the phone. I go, oh, I bet he preach a long time.
Oh, he long-winded. It wasn't
I was like,
long-winded.
no. So I went and told my mom, I said, I don't think that I'm going to be talking to him again. And she goes, no, give him a chance. He was in a long-term marriage before, so he hasn't dated in a while. She said, give him some grace. So the next night when I spoke to him, then my mama giving me dating advice. And after okay. So the next time I talked to him, everything I had prayed for, different things. I asked for a man with a place big enough for me to have 2 dogs. He must love God, and he must have small children that I could help raise because I didn't have any kids. Mm-hmm. And that's that second night that we talked, he talked about every one of those things. I'm like,
oh, wow.
Whoa. Oh, I kind of like him now.
He was on a brother from day one.
Yeah.
Day two.
I believe it, Bishop. I believe it.
Don't fall for it. Don't fall for
Yeah.
it. Day two.
And you know the funny thing, Fred, being that I had waited to have kids, I just didn't think anybody wanted a man that had small kids, that people in my age group had grown kids.
Right.
So I just, in my mind, I says, nobody wants to date somebody my age with small kids. So I just had it in my mind that I'll be single for a long time. But at the same time, I was praying and I said, well, Lord, you showed me some things and I need someone to be serious. Whoever you send me, I need help with this thing called ministry, because he was showing me things that places he was going to take me. So lo and behold, that's the only thing that I kind of pumped the brakes, because I didn't know God to move that fast. And I really and truly thought that I would be single for a long time because I waited to start having kids. So, and that was the only reservation that I had.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
The Lord brought that together.
Yeah, brought it.
Oh yeah, he brought it together.
And he answered
And you know that
both your prayers.
Yeah. And at the same time, we started talking and we were in the same location multiple times and never saw each other.
Wow.
Nope.
The same worship services.
That happened to them. I can tell. They were like
same worship services.
Never saw him.
And I think I conducted the pulpit at her uncle's church and never remember seeing her.
Wow.
Never remember seeing her. Yeah.
Wow. Amazing.
I remember his car though. I saw his car in the parking lot. He had a burgundy Porsche. I was like, "Oh, who driving that Porsche?" Well, you got to remember, I was single. You know, nice car. I knew the man had to have a job.
Right. That's important.
That's important.
Or he could have just been a Porsche thief. You never know.
Got the hookup.
Yeah, got to look the roll, baby.
Hookup ministry?
No. Hook up ministry.
Oh, Lord.
No.
Yeah, I had the Porsche back then.
Man, that's
amazing.
That is amazing.
It went from our original question to a whole.
Well, let's go back to the original question.
No. We're sorry.
No, don't be sorry. I mean, it just brought
That's
out
what we do.
It just brought out so much more. But we're going to pose the original question to the McGees and then see where it'll take us from there. You need me to repeat it?
Yes, please.
What is something that you used to believe about relationships that you no longer do?
You want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Oh, nice. I have my answer ready, but
I don't want to forget my answer. So I think for me, because this is my second time being married, and so going through it again, I never thought I would get married again. I didn't want to, because I thought that I would never find somebody that will love me as much as I love them, or give back to me as much as I give. And so when we met and we got married, I find out now that she gives more to me than I'm able to give, and it's like it just works. And she loves me just as much as I love her, and so I'm glad that I decided to give it another shot, because I really found the person that I'm supposed to be with.
That's right. We had hearts on there. I'll be telling y'all, put all the hearts up. It might be on Facebook. I can't see it right now.
Yeah. Hard for that answer. That was a wonderful answer.
Yes, it was.
That was, and I did not pay him for that either. It's genuine.
Right.
For me, I was never, ever in my life interested in dating a preacher, ever, ever at all. And so the fact of even like going beyond dating him to marrying him, I was completely like, okay, God, like you have completely shifted my thoughts of everything. That's something like that would be like. So that's my thing. I was not interested in somebody in ministry at all. I just didn't want it. And I don't want certain aspects of it, you know. God bless everybody who's first ladies and pastors and, you know, things like that. But for myself, I just that was my thing about relationships. I'd rather date just because of what I saw in the church. From
that's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah, from preachers and
the experience.
Yeah, you know things, some of them preacher hookups, because the pastor could have been driving a Porsche, but maybe he didn't work a job. Maybe he got another one. You know what I mean? Like just some things behind the scenes. So I was like, you may as well date a thug, you may as well date somebody. I mean, at least they true to who they are, right? I mean,
yeah, right. They're real.
I ain't got no problem with that one.
They're real.
Yeah.
At least you know.
At least you know exactly.
You too busy covering stuff up,
Right.
That on the street. Matter of fact, what's funny about you saying that today is went to get something to eat with my coworkers and my friend know everybody in SAC. And so he's talking to this guy. And when we leave, he's talking about he been a hustler all his life. And his ladies of the evening were state workers. He's probably gonna kill me telling this story, but so that's who he targeted was state workers. And so they pay for all of his stuff. Yeah. And every now and then he might be homeless, but he getting somebody that take care of him. So at least his game was real. It wasn't no pretending. This game,
right? Hey. It wasn't no pretending. But I am, grateful that God blessed me with a minister that is, integral and loving, because like a thug can't pray for me like Vaughn does. A thug can't, do certain things like Vaughn does. You know what I mean? So, exactly. So I see why, I see the importance of going that route, or for me in my life. Everybody don't, go that route, but I could see why God connected us like that.
And then you guys met like years and years ago, right?
Yes, we did. Yeah, we met years ago at church, and we dated before, and then he left and he like kicked me to the curb. Then...
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
It's true. Ask him. It's true. It's all true.
He said bye.
The man got drafted to serve his country. He went off to Iraq for a little while. Came back with PTSD and y'all hooked back up. My God.
I want the real story.
No, that actually happened.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
So I was getting out of the military, and what they don't teach in the military is you go through a big transition. So I was going from being, I felt like somebody, to now back to civilian, not knowing what I want to do in life, everything just changed. So I just went back home, went through depression. Didn't even really tell her I was leaving. Just called her one day, say I'm headed back home while she was at work. And it was a real tough year for me. I went through anxiety, depression. I was on medication. Oh, wow. It was really tough. So then when I got out of that and I wanted to date her again, I had to go through it. I had to prove that I wasn't going to do that again. So I promised her, I said, if you give me another chance, I'm going to earn it and I'm going to marry you. And it was rough. We went through it.
You think she punished you on purpose? Maybe a little like did some stuff on purpose?
Well, I mean, I think, you reap what you sow. So I had to let my actions speak louder than my words because of what I did before. So I understood it. Like I understood that it wasn't going to be easy. It wasn't going to be just take me back. I had to really earn it, and I put my time in. And so, when we got married, I was really happy because well, I earned that bad boy right there.
But it wasn't easy, but it was worth it, right?
It was worth it.
He did too. I remember when he apologized. We was in LA. We were about to go to church. It was New Year's Eve service, and we went to One Church LA. And so he gave me this whole speech about, I'm so sorry I did this. You were never a bad person to me. You were always good to me, and I shouldn't have done it. He gave me this whole speech, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'm glad you're better. And I I mean, I appreciate it. And then we went to church, and Common was there, and I was like, "Oh my God!" Like, thank you, Lord. Like, he's my friend again, and he led me to Common.
I don't know about none of the rest of this stuff.
My body didn't even matter. It didn't even matter.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
No, but then he would come to Sacramento, and he would like pop up in town, you know, and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna come in for the weekend, and you know, I want to take you to breakfast." And I'll be like, I don't know, like, what do you want? Like, you know, like that's what I'm thinking. Like, what do you want at this point? You know what I mean? I don't do second chances. That's God. Like, I'm not God. You know.
Woo! Look, that's God, not me.
Don't try me.
And he's like, "I want you to give me a second chance. I want to date you again." He actually told me this at breakfast, and I was looking at him, and I was like, "It don't work like that." Like,
oh my God.
I mean, like in my head, I'm thinking, like, what? Like, who does that? Who just does what they do, disappears, and then come back, and like, that's weird, you know? So I had to process some things, but at the time he came back, it was I say a bad timing, because that's when I went through where my employee died in my arms at work. I went through my trauma and my anxiety, and I'm in it. I'm in the middle of it in this moment. And then he says, you know, "Well, do you want to go through this stuff by yourself, or you want to go through it with somebody on who's got your back, who's going to be by your side through it?" And I had to stop and think. And I said, "That's a good question." And so that's what kind of got me to saying, like, I guess he really does care. Like, maybe he's just not trying to play me or something. Like, he actually cares, you know? So I decided to, you know, just try it. And then he went and had dinner with my dad. And I was like, "What are you doing that for? What you guys talking about?" Because I was just like, odd, you know? Like, it was just odd. Like, everything was just so random, you know? And what some of the saints was at the restaurant. You know, the saints. We saw him with your dad, girl. Is something going on?
Oh,
I'm like,
wow.
Your guess is good as mine. Did y'all overhear the conversation? Because
oh my God.
Put all the chips in the right order.
Yeah.
Right. And God's timing, it all worked out. It all worked out. So,
God.
you know, our path wasn't the shorter path. It was definitely a longer path, but it was definitely worth it.
Amen. Praise God.
You know, because, you know, after my divorce, the church there's no place for a person after they get divorced that goes through the counseling of, like, I felt rejected. I felt abandoned.
Mm-hmm.
I felt embarrassed. I felt thrown away. And there was no place for me. Like, you know, especially like sometimes they treat you like you're an outcast when you get divorced. And so it's like, God can forgive everything else, but if you get divorced, God can't forget. That's how they make you feel. And so I'm trying to process all of this while going through divorce, while serving. I get my divorce papers before I go to Afghanistan for 6 months. Like, it's a lot of stuff that I had to really process through. Yeah. And when I get back, it's just like, I just want to go home. I didn't care. I was like, you know what? I know the safest place for me to be right now is at home. And so I regret not doing things the right way. And so hindsight is always 20/20. But yeah, I could have done a lot of things differently. But now I'm making my mission to help those who are going through similar situations.
Right.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you, and of course we won't put your business on stage, but because I know it, and all of the stuff that you had to do with multiple people knowing what's going on, I think that is important, that the church, and I know we ain't trying to go, you know, church way, but
we go in there.
Yes, right. We always do. I mean, you that's when you really need that support, and you need something in place that helps people in a place where they've never been before. That's a place you've never been before. Many of us have never been before, and so some folks may have gotten divorced for whatever reasons, but it's your reason, and it's how you have to deal with it. And like we said, if you got stuff on stuff on stuff on stuff, And I've had conversations with you about some stuff in my past, and where I felt like work and church were going down the same barrel. And so it might not sound detrimental to you, but me that's going through it, it feels like I'm living hell.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with you that I think that we as the body have to do a better job of covering folks when they have life traumas. Instead of we gonna pray about it.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
Exactly.
No, you have to do more than that. You got to do more than that. Even if it's just go when you know your brother or sister is down, and if you don't have no words to say, just go and sit with them.
Yeah.
Okay, that means a lot. Sometimes you ain't got to say a word, but them knowing that you're there, to try to, it means a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to go here? What he said? Okay, so
let's go there because I was about to bring it up.
Well, this was a question that was just asked while we were talking about it. We try to talk about relationships, but we got all these preachers and doctors and elders on this line here. So is it the church or the folks in the church? So I will pose that. Anyone that wants to start.
I think it's both. I think it's both because there are some groups of people that the church does not necessarily have a spot for, I'd say, or have an openness to kind of like accepting them, if that even makes sense. Because if you have a marriage ministry and a singles ministry, but you're divorced, where do you go? There's no ministry for a divorcee. There's no ministry for a widow. Where does a widow go? They can't. Do they still go to the married and be depressed because everybody's married and they not? Like, like what do you do? Where do you go? Do you go to the singles group? Well, I don't think I should be in the singles group because I didn't. It's not intentionally. Like, I'm not single. I'm still kind of attached. They're just passed away. So what do you do? There are some subgroups that do get treated differently because we just don't have a spot for them, or a lot of churches are not equipped to handle folks that are having some mental challenges or having anxiety, having trauma, experiencing trauma, and trying to get over depression or overcome these things. And so then we do sit in church and we are right next to our neighbor who is struggling in their mind and does go and commit suicide right after church or something like that. And then everybody's freaking out like, oh my God, we never knew. But did we ever think that this could be an opportunity for some level of ministry to go forth in this area, in the area of caregiving? A lot of people in the church are caregivers and they're exhausted, quite frankly. They're tired. And what do? You just work them to death in the church, So I think it's both the people and because people do. I've been in church my whole life. Okay. Like people treat you different depending on what kind of circumstances is going on. It's just how people do you sometimes. So I think it's both the church and the people. And sometimes, and every church doesn't have, the capacity to have certain, to reach everybody, of course. Right. But there are community services that you can partner with. There are people probably in the congregation that are either professionals in certain area that may have a resource for you. Something. There's got to be some sort of communication to let people know we care about everybody and we've got resources based on, maybe whatever your need is. Everybody's not going to sing in the choir. Everybody's not going to be an usher. Everybody's not going to be a deacon. Everybody's not going to be playing an instrument or something like that. So where do they go? Where do these people fall?
Right.
I agree with that, but I believe also that we make up the church. People make up the church.
That's right.
We are the church.
Right.
So it's up to us to show them that grace, like we talked about last week. We talked about grace, where it's something that's not easily given sometimes by the folks in the church.
And we talk about that subject.
What, grace again?
Well, how the subject got started.
No. And grace and love work hand in hand. If you don't love, you can't exercise grace. And if if you can't exercise grace, you have no love. So with that, that's where we as the church and as the body, we have to extend that that grace and let them know that you're not on an island to yourself. I remember Fred one time said at the church he was going to before, there were no youth. So it was all older people or kids. There was no one in between. So he felt isolated in it. He was like one of maybe five?
Yeah.
One of five youth in the church, and they were lost. They no longer catered or served them in the way that they needed to grow and multiply themselves. So I just said all that to say, as the church, if we give them that grace and show them that love, then they can multiply themselves and begin to service each other or have networks and platforms and services that help them to transition to their next level.
Mm-hmm.